My name is Shraddha Ferrero. I'm Vice President Advocacy for a student group that's housed here, which is the national student movement known as the Free Thought Association of Canada. As I said, I'm very pleased to have you here today. Before we get started, Ron Brown would like to say a few words. Ron is the head of our group on the University of Toronto campus, and he would like to say a few words on behalf of his group.
Hi. Justin just gave me this opportunity to say a few words, but he told me about it about 5 minutes ago, so I haven't prepared anything. A little bit of a history lesson. The FAC, Free Thought Association of Canada, used to be the Toronto Secular Alliance. It's grown, so it's now a national level thing, and it is no longer simply based at U of T. And so what I and some highly enthusiastic peers are doing now is rebuilding the U of T section at a very impressive rate. Actually, it's going very well. And so we've got a lot of great initiatives going right now, and we could definitely use a lot of help with them. The one I'm most excited about is the effort to develop a stronger local secular humanist community. This is actually inspired by one of the great successes of religious groups. We all know that one of the main reasons why religious groups are so strong is that they are able to get together and work together to make each other better people. They come together and join as communities, and each one of them takes it as a personal responsibility to help their peers as well as themselves grow as people. Secularists haven't done this quite as much, and we could definitely learn a lot. And so I'd like to be able to to work towards taking lessons from the great successes in this area of religious groups and helping the secular community help each other become stronger, better people. So what this includes is such things as having here groups such as assertiveness training groups, public speaking training groups, groups to develop abilities in a variety of important areas such as critical thinking, as well as meditation, which has been proven through scientific inquiry to be incredibly conducive of a variety of very useful skills in life, and so forth. I'm sorry, it's hard to speak unprepared. Anyhow, the biggest initiative that I'd like to get going is basically to work hard to make a strong, rewarding community right here. We're also working hard to promote activity among students, obviously, as well as faculty, to promote secularism, humanism, and we could definitely use as much help as we can get. We're an enthusiastic group, we support each other, and we've got great goals, and I'm very confident that in the next year, the UTSA and the FAC will be very much household names around U of T, and hopefully in the next couple of years around the entire city. And we look forward to working with as many people as possible to make this happen. Thanks.
Another quick thing before we get started, we'd just like to mention that CFI has a range of activities going. Aside from these events, we also have our community center, which includes a library at the back, which is open every day from 1 to 9. In addition, we also do political advocacy, as we have right now, pushing for one unified public school system in Ontario, a position which is supported by the Muslim Canadian Congress as well, who we are working closely with. So, without further ado, we'd like to get started with today's event, which we hope will be a stimulating experience for you as we discuss the idea of freedom of expression with regards to religious issues and what this means in today's society. By no means is our society the first to have some level of tolerance. This has been around since ancient times, since Cyrus the Great of Persia to Ashoka of the Mauryan Empire. But now, over 200 years since Locke wrote his A Letter Concerning Toleration, what does it mean in our context? We've seen the controversy with satanic verses, with Muhammad, the cartoons of the Islamic founder Muhammad, with the Da Vinci Code being banned in several countries, and with the Egyptian blogger now being jailed for blasphemy very recently. So I'm hoping each of our three speakers, all of which have had some recent brushes with attempts to silence their perspective with violent repercussions, will shed some light on these topics and will enlighten us further. Our first speaker is Justin Trotte. I've had the pleasure and I should say annoyance of working with Justin for the last year or so. Justin created the Toronto Secular Alliance, IUFT, which was the first such group dedicated to promoting a secular university which had equality for everyone. Since then, our group, as Ron Brown mentioned, has grown quite considerably with over 13 campuses, and we now call the Free Thought Association of Canada. In addition, we helped set up this place, originally with the help of the Humanist Association of Toronto, as a secular free thought center, but since then it's evolved to be the Centre for Inquiry Ontario, of which Justin is now the director. Recently, while advertising for an event at Ryerson campus by the physicist Victor Stenger, Justin had a brush-in, along with his colleague Peter Aruja, who's at the back, by someone who was offended by the poster, which was entitled God, the Failed Hypothesis, bearing the same name as the book. So, to have Justin talk about his experiences and his perspectives, please help me welcome him to the stage.
All right, thank you, Schreiber. Can everybody hear me okay?
Yeah.
Never know quite where to stand with this. Thank you for those mostly kind words. I appreciate that. Before we start, I just wanted to use this opportunity to mention a little bit about what Centre for Inquiry is. Schreiber spoke a bit about FAC and the local group at U of T. I'm just going to say a few words about the centre here and what it actually does. Can you flip to the next slide, please? Yeah, so I don't expect you to read all of that, but this is just to clarify in my mind. Centre for Inquiry, the goal really is to establish the premier venue in the province. Currently, we're the only one, so mission more or less accomplished, for free thinkers, humanists, atheists, skeptics, secularists, all of those kinds of people. Now, that divides itself into 6 or 7 kind of mandates, at least the way I try to induce a lot of hierarchy to things. So we have programming like this event, a robust public education series on all sorts of issues and skepticism and critical thinking. We have our campus outreach. Again, Peter, who was with me in that fateful incident, is running a network of about 14 or 15. It's growing quite steadily, as you can see from our map there on the wall. Free thought student groups, and so that's coming along nicely. We provide resources and contacts and speakers and that sort of thing. Then we have community outreach. We do all sorts of activities in Toronto, trying to basically prove to people, if they don't already know, that atheists and humanists do good things, and that's not always so evident. So community outreach is important for not just our image, but actually to do good things. Social services. By early July, we're going to be having an open house to formally kick off our humanist social services. This is more or less unprecedented among Centre for Inquiry branches, CFI's branches all over the world, but none of them have such a robust social service mandate as we're going to be launching in early July. Everything from Secular Organizations for Sobriety, which is a secular version of Alcoholics Anonymous, to humanist officiants for humanist weddings, to coping with our religion support group, to cognitive quitting, which is a rationalistic approach to quitting smoking, on top of the community outreach project. So quite ambitious, and we hope to see many of you there to find out more about that. Don't actually remember all of this stuff. Our library, if you have some time later, do check the library out. About 1,000 lending books. Most of them are available for lending on philosophy, science, those sorts of things of interest mostly to most of our members. And we have a media center, we're happy to say, where we broadcast